Turning now to your community focus, we are joined here twice a month on 12 News Now at 4 by Education Commissioner Angelica Infante-Green. Commissioner, thanks as always for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This is the first time that we've had the chance to speak since the Providence Teachers Union took a vote of no confidence in both you and Superintendent Harrison Peters. Earlier this week, they called for an end to the state takeover of Providence schools, calling it an abject failure. But we know they initially supported that takeover. So where did things turn sour?
Well, I think that that's part of the union playbook is to have a vote of no confidence. The other time that they have done that has been to Superintendent Diana Lamb. And Harrison Peters, Diana Lamb, and I have a lot in common. So we both really support professional development, pushed curriculum. So I think it's about students when we're pushing students. And I think that there's been a lot of wanting to do things a certain way. And I think we need to give our teachers the space to be able to be innovative, our students, and we really have to really push the envelope. So we're not surprised, of course. I said when I first arrived here, everybody wants change until change happens. We have to change the way that we're thinking and doing business. And the contract has been very limiting for many, many years. Matter of fact, I even saw Tom Brady is asking for the same things that we're asking for now.
Speaking of the contract, I know you've brought in a mediator to try and come to an agreement. Is that working? Are you making progress?
Very slow. It's very slow, but we're going to keep working at it. We've even recommended doing all this in public. That would be helpful so that everybody sees what we're trying to achieve. Nobody's trying to union bust or do anything like that. Actually, we've put more money down on the table than has been in a very, very long time. So I think that it's what's happening behind closed doors would be very good to talk about in an open forum.
That's something that obviously Rhode is in favor of. Has the teachers union said they don't want these negotiations to be public?
Oh, absolutely.
So what is the biggest sticking point then, Commissioner? And at what point do you say, okay, even if we don't have a contract, I'm going to take action?
So sticking points, there are many of them. So one is that we can't really hire who we want to hire. There's parameters around every single lockstep. So I'll give you an example. So last year we changed the hiring date and we were able to hire almost 80 more people than the district had ever been able to do. So there's things that seem trivial, but they're really not. And that's where a lot of the sticking point is. They seem like little things, but they're little things that should be up to management that right now are not. And like I said, I went and looked up, Tom Brady was asking for the exact same things, the ability to be able to hire, the ability to be able to have those decision-making power at the school level. Those are important things to us.
I wanted to ask you about a comment that the Providence Teachers Union president made in a press release. She called you a mini Betsy DeVos, of course referring to the former education secretary in the Trump administration, over your support of charter schools. What do you make of that characterization?
Well, I don't do name calling. I'm a teacher, and teachers don't teach that or exemplify that. So, that's up to her. She wants to call me a mini Betsy DeVos. But I will tell you, so I am in favor of charters as well. They're public schools. They're public schools. Parents are agnostic of who runs them. That's, what's the difference? What is the fear with the charter schools? And at the end of the day, we're talking about 6% of the kids going to charter schools. What is the fear? These are the same kids, but I really represent parents and students. If parents want their students to go to a school where they have a different opportunity, I'm in favor of that. I just want to remind everyone that in Providence, only 17.2% of the kids could read on grade level. When the students that are going to their counterparts that are charters is 36.4, almost double. And when you talk about math, 12.2, come on. Parents have to have other opportunities, right? And not everybody can go to them, but we can't wait till adults like us fix the system. But we are moving at light speed in Providence. So we have brought in the curriculum. We've done more PD than has ever been done in the district. We have done many of things to make sure that we continue to move forward. But I have to represent all parents, and that is a fact. And, and many times people say, well, the parents that want, those are different types of parents. No, when you have 24,000 students and 19,000 families are applying to charters, they're looking for other options. But we are, and I have to say this clearly, making sure that the students that are in the district are getting the best education possible. But there are places where our hands are tied. I have to be very clear on that. I just got an email from a student that graduated in 2019. When he heard the vote of no confidence, he wrote me an email and said, no, I'm going to give you examples of why the intervention needs to continue. This is all expected. There's no way that we didn't expect pushback.
And Commissioner, just quickly before we let you go, is there a drop dead date for when you say, okay, contract negotiations are over, we're just going to proceed how we see fit?
Well, I think, I have a date in my mind. But I think that it's really important that we continue to work. The hard part is that we could take another approach to this, but I haven't taken that approach. So I think that it's important that we try to continue to work together. But what I want to make clear to all the teachers listening, please discern the information. One of the last emails that went out talked about me not caring and I'm not showing up to in person. Well, my kids had COVID, right? So I think you just, painting pictures of people and personal attacks is what we're trying to move away from. We're trying to focus in on the work that needs to happen in the classroom. Talk to me about that.
Rhode Island Education Commissioner Angelica Infante-Green, thank you as always for your time.
Thank you.